Main Event Video presents the Top Fuel Experience. 60 minutes of fast-paced fuelers in quarter-mile combat. These are the modern-day gunslingers whose shootouts take place at quarter-mile drag strips all across the country. The Top Fuel Experience is led by the longest, quickest, and fastest car in drag racing, the Budweiser Fueler of Darrell Gwynn. From the CAREY Racing Team, 30-year veteran Hank Endries. A Keystone Automotive TRW car of 1984 World Top Fuel Champion Joe Amato. The other half of CAREY Racing and the captain of the team, John Carey. And starring the three-time and current Top Fuel World Champion, the leader, the king, the man who made Top Fuel. The name synonymous with the sport itself, Big Daddy Don Garlits. And introducing drag racing's newest superstar, former NFL quarterback Dan Pastorini in the Coors Light Silver Bullet.
Burns about 16 gallons per run on a quarter-mile run, and that's not too common, being your average street car gets about 16 to 18 miles a gallon. This is the 2.5-inch fuel line that feeds the supply from the tank. It comes into these two 1-inch lines here. Goes through the two fuel pumps. It's distributed to these barrel valves. It goes back to the metering valve where it distributes fuel to the injector. We have fuel running through the combustion chambers of the heads. It feeds this 3,000 horsepower nitro motor. Looking here, looking there for problems between rounds. You know, these nitro motors aren't too forgiving, and any little mistake, we have a pile of junk here after a run if we're not careful.
This is the pit area of Darrell Gwynn, the Wolf, the Kid, the Prince they call him. He's got 100 nicknames, but he's one of the up-and-coming stars in Top Fuel racing. Only 25 years old, finished number 2 in the world last year, and now with a big buck sponsorship, he's loaded for bear and going after the 1987 world title. Darrell, how did you get the nickname the Wolf?
Well, actually, it came from Don Garlits. You know, I never had to race against Garlits until I moved to the fuel class in '85, and when I started racing him, he saw how hungry I was, and that's where the nickname the Wolf came from, because I was hungry like a wolf.
Hungry like the wolf. How about your dad, Jerry Gwynn? He's been involved in this operation forever. He brought you up in the sport. How important is he to you?
Well, he's really important. He's the one that got me involved with this. He's my dad. He's my crew chief. He's my brother. He's been the whole background of this whole operation. You know, I was his crew chief when he started racing. Now he's my crew chief and I'm racing. So it's really a deal to where it's, you know, one day I'm helping him, the next day he's helping me too. It's really turned out to be a real success story in the fact that the family operation here that we have ended up with a sponsorship like Budweiser. You know?
You've got the longest car here, almost 300 inches. Is that an advantage?
Well, I think right now at this point, it's an advantage. You know, there's some cars out here that are 240 and 250 inches long that have run 530s and have had some real good ETs, but the consistency, I think, is where it's at, and the longer car, I think, will be more consistent, but we have to prove that.
Darrell, let me ask you this. How do you think your father feels about all your accomplishments in the sport of drag racing?
Well, let's go ask him. Mom's got a question for you.
Jerry, how proud are you of your son? You were a former world champion yourself. He went into the alcohol ranks, did exactly what you did, won the world championship. Now he's out here racing in Top Fuel. Does that make you feel good?
Yeah, it's an expression that you just can't believe. You know, I mean, I raced for a long time, and I was confident when I won and that kind of stuff. And now that he's doing it, it's just such a, such a thing. I don't know how to express myself.
You're backing up in the burnout, and you're looking down the racetrack at a course that you're fixing to go down at 270 miles an hour, and you can't quite picture it at that moment until your body is actually psyched up and ready for it. You look down that thing and you really can't picture yourself going down through there until you're actually ready. And that's what all the preparation's about, is getting ready to go 270 or 280 miles an hour. You know, you do your burnouts, you back up. In my case, I shake my father's hand. We check the car for leaks right before I pull the start line, and I'm ready to go 280 miles an hour.
This is the finish line of the drag strip, the top end area. This is where anything and everything happens in Top Fuel racing. Quarter mile away on the starting line, there's a pair of Top Fuel dragsters ready to make the run. They're going to hit the finish line down there, the chutes pop open, and they'll bring it to a halt. This is one of the twin top fuel dragsters of diesel mechanic John Carey.
We need to blow the other way.
A lot of nitro fumes in there, huh, John?
Yeah, a lot.
You're one of the few drivers on the circuit that run a two-car team. How can you do that without the benefit of a major sponsor?
It's tough. The boys really have to work hard and save pieces and parts.
You have one of the most elaborate shops here at the track. Does that help you maintain both of these cars?
Definitely. It's very easy trailer to work out of, and if we didn't have it, we probably couldn't do it.
You carry both cars in here also?
Yes, we can carry 3 cars.
Okay, can we take a look at your shop?
Sure.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4 engines here on the floor.
Yeah, we carry 4 complete engines. You know, we heard one last night, but you know, there's 2 more blocks sitting around the box. We carry all our welding equipment if we have a block repair or a frame repair. You know, we got all our hierarchy equipment right here, and our generator system for our electric system right up front.
Okay, the way I look, it looks like the 2 race cars go up on top. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And you bring them in through these cranes, is that it?
With a hydraulic crane, we swing them right in. You know, it's one-man loading process.
See cylinder heads on the bench?
Yeah, these are spare cylinder heads, and these are another set. And we have up here, this is where we carry our spare piston racks.
Okay, and on down the workbench?
Yes, this is all our spare, you know, odds and end parts. So naturally all our tools, spare crane. This is all our valve equipment, and this is a drill press. And we have a lathe in the back.
You have pretty much everything you need to do everything,
Yep.
any job you want on the road.
Yep, pretty much so. And up overhead is all our spare, you know, blowers and all that. We even keep a spare engine for the generator.
The Carey Racing Team has a 2-car team here. You drive 1 car and Hank Endries drives the other. It must really take a super crew to maintain both of these cars.
Yes, it does. It's very difficult. We've assigned, you know, crew chiefs to each car, and they have certain men that works with them, and we don't break the teams up unless we really get in a, you know, bad, you know, situation where we have to go help one another out. And it's really worked out good this year.
If both cars win first round, there must be mayhem around here.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It really gets busy.
Does Hank want you and help you out?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hank's been a very good teacher as far as driving. You know, he's taught me a lot of, you know, tricks of driving. You know, I haven't driven in 20 years. I just started driving again last year, and Hank has been very good to work with.
If both of the Carey cars get to the final, who's going to win?
I am.
Top Fuelers Racing at Night. It's a spectacular display of nitro explosions and the crackly thunder of header pipes shooting flames into the nighttime sky is awesome. Watching these missiles back up after a burnout is a wild visual experience that excites and arouses the senses. on fire. There's nothing like it, especially when they break on the line. What a treat for the fans. It's what they wait for. Nighttime is action time. This is the pits. The area where drivers and crew get their cars ready for quarter-mile combat. This is the Coors Light Silver Bullet top fuel dragster of ex-NFL quarterback Dan Pastorini. He's gone from throwing bullets to driving them. This bullet's powered by a 3,000 horsepower aluminum racing engine. It drinks 12 gallons of nitromethane fuel, costs $30 a gallon, and Dan Pastorini's loading up his car for a 270-mile-an-hour race down a quarter-mile drag strip. Top Fuel is the premier class in all of drag racing, the kings of the sport, the fastest accelerating vehicles in the world. The fuel tank is filled, the starter is plugged into the batteries, and the crew gets ready for the final preparation in the pits, the pre-race warm-up. The crowd swarms around Pastorini's Silver Bullet in anticipation of the nitro fire-up. The drivers trying to protect their lungs from the nitromethane fumes which saturate the pit area. What attracts the crowd in the pit is the deafening roar of a 3,000 horsepower aluminum racing engine. These engines can blow up at a moment's notice, and these pre-race warm-ups in the pits are the last chance for the drivers and crew to get their cars ready for battle. He's thrilled his fans on the gridiron, he wows them on the drag strip, and excites them in the pits.
Like that, huh?
A top fuel dragster is the fastest of all race cars, the quickest and fastest of all race cars. We call them assault vehicles. They have a power plant here which reaches over 3,000 plus horsepower. It burns nitromethane. A mixture that we usually use is about 96% nitromethane, 4% methanol or alcohol as it's commonly referred to.
Pastorini got into drag racing in a big way. He started right out at Top Fuel, driving a used car he bought from fellow Top Fuel racer Gene Snow.
It's an 83 Swindell chassis. It's 255 inches long, and it's like riding the head of a bullet, basically. It's a combination of two things. It's being in the eye of a hurricane and riding the head of a bullet.
Pastorini's been in the spotlight before, but it's been on the football field. He's finding out it's a different ball game here on the drag strip. On the track, it's one-on-one. His future rests on his ability as a driver. Aside from racing itself, it's the fans' involvement that made the biggest impression on the Top Fuel rookie.
I'll tell you something. You know what's really neat about this sport? I played 13 years in the NFL. Not many of the public got to really know me as a person from watching me on the field. I mean, what the advantage in this sport, the fans are right here with you in the pits. They come around, they stand around, they see the operation from the get-go. In football, they saw you on a football field. They never really got to see you unless you were out in public someplace or if you just happened to bump into some people in the streets. But the nice thing about this sport is the people involved. We're very grateful for all the fans that come out to the drag races. It's a great living, it's a great way to make a living, and it's great entertainment, and we get a lot of satisfaction from the fan response that we meet throughout the country. So for that, we're very grateful. Been doing anything in my life. This is a very serious business. We have very serious people working on this car. We have tremendous sponsorship from Coors Light that we're grateful for. We look forward to having a long-lasting relationship. It's a constant battle day in and day out. You're not only trying to make a race car go, but you're trying to make the whole operation go. And that includes satisfying your sponsors. That's a key thing. So I hope that we've proven ourselves, and I hope we continue to prove ourselves so that everybody will know us as drag racers.
Might only help.
Bring it up a degree or half a degree.
Yeah, like crank a little wing in it, and the wing will probably be the one that'll break the wing off. Look at the wing here. No, it'll be fine. You should put some wing in it.
Yeah, when we get it. I can do it right after right there.
We'll let it down on the ground. We'll go ahead and check it and see what we got.
We got 6. He doesn't reckon. He reckons, no more than 8. Yeah, 8's pushing it. That thing's got a lot of surface, so a half a degree should do it. Half a degree or a degree will make a big difference.
You're not going to change it, Half a degree.
Yeah, half a degree. I can't imagine.
Half a degree with that wing See, it's got too much surface, Jimmy. That's the whole purpose of the wing. These guys don't respect me at all. They don't give a damn about what I said. I put in. I try to tell them what's... They don't care. Let the dumb football player go. What does he know?
We're not going to listen.
I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of drag racing.
It was his first national event victory, winning the Southern Nationals in his rookie season, that let the other drivers know he was serious about racing Top Fuel. It took a while, but Dan's earned their respect and is now considered a contender at every race he's at.
Well, a lot of people didn't take me seriously when I first started it. In fact, that was a dilemma that we had to live down, but once they saw how serious we were at the races and the more we improved, it seemed like they paid more attention to us at that time. So, I don't know, along the beginning of this year when we won the Southern Nationals, the third race of the year, which was our 7th NHRA event, it kind of opened the eyes to a lot of people and they realized that we were serious. So it brought some credibility into our program. We were fortunate enough to land Coors Light because of it, and we're very pleased to have them on our team.
The Coors Light Silver Bullet is maintained by crew chief Jim Brissett and Tony Ledford, who explains what goes on between rounds.
Just pulling the heads off, pulling the oil pan off, pulling the pistons out, just taking it, completely apart and checking it. And once we get done with the motor, then we work on the clutch. And then decide what we're going to do for tune-up changes if we need to go a little quicker.
Jim Brissett wrenched Kelly Brown to the world title in '79.
What's it like working for Dan Pastorini?
Just fine, sir. A lot of fun.
How would you rate him as a driver?
You mean compared to all the drivers, or just...
Oh yeah, compared to all the...
Well, he's one of the top 2 or 3 as far as leaving the reaction time and stuff. That's the important part. The drag racing cars are very actually all within a tenth of a second of each other in a given day, so the reaction time is very important.
Are you happy the way he's handling your...
Yes, absolutely. Perfect. Today's a good day. We got a good chance of winning.
This is not an individual sport. You've got to surround yourself with good people, and I feel that I've done that in formulating my crew with Jim Brissett and Tony Ledford that had a car that Kelly Brown used to drive back in 1978 that won the World Championship. We have Rich Wasco, who had a pure hell funny car years ago. Between the 3 of those guys, we have over 75 years of experience. In this sport, I got to pick these guys myself, so I'm lucky to have been able to hand-pick a group that I have chosen to work with me. I'm very fortunate. It makes my job a lot easier when I'm in the car. A lot of people think that racing, they have a misconception about racing being real dangerous. We're capable of reaching speeds of 270 plus miles per hour in less than 5.3 seconds. A lot of people think that's dangerous. Let me tell you something. I got more injuries in football, playing football, than even come close in doing any form of racing. I consider it a very safe sport. I've just always liked Top Fuel. My choice, my favorite one.
Exactly what is a Top Fuel dragster? Well, it's the fastest accelerating vehicle in the world, and it's the only class in motorsports that is unlimited. There are no restrictions on the engine. We'll take a look at Joe Amato's state-of-the-art Top Fueler here behind me, from back to front. This is the giant wing, sits about 7 foot in the air. Purpose is to put down pressure on the rear of the car for traction. Here are the slicks, 17 inches wide, a pair of them. In between them is nestled a custom-built aluminum center section rear end. 4130 chrome moly chassis. Here are the dual parachutes that are required to stop the car. Inside there's the clutch, a very sophisticated unit. The slider clutch designed especially for the sport of drag racing. Inside the titanium bell housing to protect from shrapnel. The latest in racing engines, the 495 cubic inch Chrysler Hemi engine, all aluminum racing engine, billet heads, billet block, it's all custom made. Dual fuel pumps, the latest in technology for these fuel cars. Also leads for a computer. Everything here is completely computer monitored. They monitor exhaust temperature, blower pressure, everything. Produces about 3,000 horsepower, and its life expectancy is only like 8 seconds. So the big engine sitting here propelling this car. Up in the front is the very sophisticated fuel and ignition system of the car. Dual fuel pumps, dual ignition systems to make sure that everything gets all the fuel, all the spark it needs. Moving on up, the chassis connects to the driver's compartment. Right now, the tool tray sitting on top. It also contains the spark plugs they need, all their warm-up parts, anything they might need. They have air wrenches, the special wrenches for the spark plug, all the fittings, all the fuels, all the chemicals that they need. The driver's compartment in here, protected by a chrome moly 4130 roll cage. Very simple controls. He's got a steering wheel. He's got a parachute release. He's got a handbrake. He's got a fuel shut-off, and the thing that leaves it out, just the motor and the fuel combination as he goes down the track. One button to shift the car. This is the canopy. It's for aerodynamics and also to protect the driver against any loose debris that might be out on the track. The driver gets closed into the car, the canopy comes down. Moving up, the chassis covered by magnesium and aluminum bodywork. Up in the front of the car, the fuel tank. Joe's wife, Jerry, right now mixing the fuel and putting it in the car. The car uses about 18 gallons of fuel a run. It's put up in the front of the car for weight to prevent the all-costly wheel stand. Moving on up, here's the front end, the front suspension. There is none. It's not adjustable. There's no spring at all. The struts and the steering arms, all aerodynamic style tubing to kind of cut through the air as best as it can. The long nose, they're allowed 30 inches out front here. They have this wing. This wing is aerodynamically designed to take the air that comes across the car up over the front wheels and allow it to cut through the air a lot smoother. That's your basic top fuel dragster. Runs a quarter mile in about 5.5 seconds, and speeds have reached 280 miles an hour.
And you run the race on a positive note where you envision yourself winning, and that gets your mind mentally on the positive side. Plus, it also gives you time to think about what you're doing mechanically in the car. This way, if something happens, you're ready to do it. You know, if something goes crazy and you have to react, you can do that. Last night, after we made our final qualifying, the boys disassembled the whole motor, checked the engine, the transmission, the rear end, the clutch. They adjust everything, and they put it all back together. Now we have to start the car, warm it up, readjust the valves, check the timing, adjust the clutch, you know, pack the parachute, mix the nitro, and basically check everything. You have to make sure everything is race ready. When you go up down the starting line, there can't be anything that you didn't think of. You know, and the driver has to be ready. The crew chief has to have the car tuned for today's weather conditions, track conditions, and you make your best shot. You go up there to give it your best shot driving, and hopefully the crew chief has it tuned up, you make a lot of horsepower, and you win.
of the 1984 World Top Fuel Champion, Joe Amato. He was the first man to run 260 miles in a quarter mile. We're here with him today with his brand new state-of-the-art Top Fuel dragster. Let's talk to him. Joey, you won the Top Fuel Championship in 1984. It must have been a very big goal for you to reach.
Yeah, in '84 we were the world champion, and we were also the first car to go 260 miles per hour. That was the culmination of our entering Top Fuel in '82. You know, we thought it would take us a lot longer to get to that point as far as becoming the world champion. But Timmy took my crew chief, Tim Richards, took the Top Fuel racing like a duck takes the water. And it's been exciting since then. You know, we've had about 5 years in Top Fuel now, and we've been either number one, number two, and as far back as number 4. But, you know, it's been in the top 5 since we started, so we're plenty happy where we are.
How about streamlining? You tried it, you didn't use it. A lot of drivers are trying it. Darrell Gwynn just took it off. How important is it?
Well, streamlining is important to a point. You know, when we pioneered our tall wing, we proved to ourselves that there's a lot to be gained with streamlining. But Then we went further, we tried to cover the front wheels on the car, and that made the car get airborne at the finish line. Now Garlitz was fighting that all last year, racing his car, and it was always bounced off the ground at the finish line. That's no fun driving a 270-mile-per-hour missile with the front end off the ground. So we opted to go back to a semi-streamliner, we call this car. It's got a streamlined right around the driver area. There's the bubble, the cockpit is all streamlined, and around here, we made the body a little taller on the car. The body comes up to cut the wind better. We put skirting down around the car. It's got skirting down around the car on both sides. The skirting keeps the air flowing under the car and lets it go through the wind better. And then going up to the front of the car, instead of going with the cover, we put a small nose on the front, and we have a regular wing, and the wing pushes the air up and away from the tubing here. We don't feel the streamlining on the front is worth that much. It's worth a lot of press, and people get excited about it because they feel it's new and innovative, but the raw facts are, if you have enough horsepower, you could drive a bathtub down through there and go 270. That's the bottom line. That's where Tim Richards comes in. He's got to have to make the horsepower. That's what it comes. That separates the men from the boys. Our race team is more like family. We have all the people that work on my team live in our immediate area. I didn't bring anybody in from California to work. We decided to go Top Fuel. You know, the people is what makes a business, what makes a racing team. And I've got the people, and I give them a lot of freedom in what they do. That's what makes me be able to do what I want to do. I get people, I teach them what I want them to do, and then I can go racing. And my father-in-law comes, my wife comes, she packs the parachute, she mixes the nitro for the car, she backs me up on the starting line, she gives us moral support, she does the cooking, you know, she goes and gets us food to eat. So she does a lot. She does all the hotel bookings. She's an integral part of our team. The critical thing to anything in life is people. Anything you want to do, you surround yourself with good people and they make you look good.
Big Daddy Don Garlitz, the man who revolutionized Top Fuel racing with the reinvention of the modern-day rear-engine dragster. Garlitz's latest car, Swamp Rat 30, is going into the Smithsonian Institute representing the sport of drag racing.
One of the proudest moments of my life was when I opened that letter from the curators and they said that this car belonged in the museum, the National Museum, because it was part of the National Heritage.
How about your new car that's going to replace this one? Can you tell us anything about it?
It's very similar to this car. This has been a good car. We don't think we've utilized the potential of this car yet. We're working on engine combinations now.
How about the new technology, the lock-up clutches, the computer? What's that doing to the sport?
Well, it's changing it. It's causing it to be very, very expensive. It will probably be $10,000 a run within 6 to 8 months. The lock-up clutches is in effect giving us a 3-speed, and for a car to weigh 1,900 pounds, 3 speeds are necessary. So the lockup gives us a 3-speed. We need that. When we make that last shift, it's like going into overdrive. I think that's necessary. Look at your passenger cars. They all have overdrive. It's a deal when you get up to speed, you need to save the engine. You can't just twist it apart.
It was 17 years ago at Lyons Dragstrip that a horrendous clutch explosion in a slingshot dragster severed half of Garlitz's right foot. From that day on, he was determined to invent a safer car or quit drag racing altogether. Against all odds and through much trial and error, his genius led to the rear-engine dragsters you see today. Technology, however, is making the sport quicker and faster. How about the ETs and speeds? What do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see a 4-second top fueler soon?
I don't say real soon. I mean, we will see 4-second top fuelers over 300 miles an hour. I predicted the 300 miles an hour. That'll be here quicker than I thought.
Drag racing's active living legend is still racing after 35 years, and in addition to being the elder statesman of the sport, he's still the man to beat. He's the reigning king of top fuel. I'm going to ask you a question a lot of people have asked you before. You won the Top Fuel Championship twice in a row. You're going for number 3. Is there an end of Big Daddy's driving career coming up?
I don't know. It all depends on my health. If I continue to be healthy and enjoy it, I'll continue to drive.
Don, you've had some of the most spectacular accidents in the sport. You lost half of your foot at Lyons. You had this amazing wheel stand at Englishtown. How do you keep coming back?
Well, I love what I'm doing, I guess, and I've always felt safe in my own car, even though I have been hurt in it.
You still have fun doing this?
Yeah.
This is the race that everybody came to see. It'll probably be the best one of the event. Semi-final of Top Fuel. Big Daddy Don Garlitz, sentimental crowd favorite in the better left-hand lane against the world's fastest potato farmer, Larry Miner, driving the Miller All-American car. Larry Miner first in the... Now here comes the man. 3-time NHRA world champion. Defending world champion. Defending Bakersfield Fuel and Gas champion. Winner, Big Daddy Don Garlitz. Don Garlitz, some 50-some years old. Been doing this for 35 years. Without a doubt, a veteran. Everybody knows that he's the man. A lot of the other racers use computers, but he doesn't need one. He's got everything right up here. More experience than any 5 of these Top Fuel drivers put together. The roof hatch goes up here. Big Daddy's crew chief, Herb Marks, is going to make a barrel valve adjustment right on the starting line. Bernie Federley, the crew chief for Larry Miner, lining him up. One of these cars is going into the final here at Bakersfield. Don Garlitz, ladies and gentlemen, low elapsed time of 5:47 for Garlitz. Top end speed 262 miles per hour. He blows Larry Miner into the weeds. Miner a very respectable 5:56, 236, but no match for Garlitz's 5:47. So Big Daddy Don Garlitz goes into the final. He laid down his smoke and came past here. You can see the fog in the air. The nitro fumes are gagging us. Earl Whiting is loaded. He wants to win this. He wants to go up against Big Daddy. Now the same for Larry Sutton. He didn't make as ferocious a burnout as Whiting did. Those guys are low budget. They want to try to hang on to their equipment. We're going to prove it on the racetrack. to go. The drivers can't see. They can't look back. They depend solely on their crew chief to guide them back onto the starting line. So the semi-final round is Top Fuel Dragster. The winner of this gets the chance of a lifetime to race Big Daddy Don Garlits in the final round. Sutton is into the pre-stage. Here comes Earl Whiting. They're in the pre-stage now. They'll creep into the staging beams and it's in the hands of the starter. Foul start by Earl Whiting. He fouled and broke something right off the starting line. A tough break for Earl Whiting. Larry Sutton is going to the biggest final round drag race of his career. He ran a 5.66. Garlits ran a 5.47. Garlits has lane choice, but Larry Sutton's going after the old man. The fastest accelerating vehicles in the world here for the final round of Top Fuel at the Miller Mears sponsored U.S. Fuel and Gas Championships. Every year since 1959 they've done this here, and here we are in 87 with one of the biggest final rounds in history. Don Garlits looking for win number 5. His competition, Larry Sutton. He's never been in a final round for a big drag race like this, and he's going to race his hero right now, Big Daddy Don Garlits. Win number 5 here at Bakersfield. Larry Sutton wasted away a 5.51, a red light start. Big Daddy takes the 5th win in his career here at Bakersfield. The fans love him, and it's a great way to cap off the U.S. Fuel and Gas Championships here at Bakersfield.